This game is called Horse Race Central. It is a whole class participation game. I'm going to click in the lower left where it says click here to start. Basically, this is a very similar to a horse race game that I created that just has only the horses racing across here, except that in this version on the screen the instructor has the chance to make questions appear before the actual horse will move. So to give you some quick instructions and an example, the instructor would divide into 4 teams their class. Then they would click on the Go to Questions button and ask the first team a question. If that team gets it right, these questions and answers will appear on the screen. Then the instructor would come back, click the red horse button one time to make that horse move, and then continue on down the row. 5 correct answers will get you across the finish line where there is cheering, etc. I'm going to click on the play button in the lower middle of the screen. Just to give you an example of how it would work, the instructor now goes over here to the lower right and clicks Go to Questions. From here, the students and Team 1 may pick any question they would like. The instructor has gone in ahead of time and already put in questions and answers on these slides. So I'm going to just pretend by clicking question 3. It says question 3. We'll pretend that this says, I know it says delete this text and place your question here, but we'll just pretend that this said 2 plus 2. And the Team 1 says 4, so we click See Answer, and this would say 4 right here. So now we'll come down here and click Return to Race. And the red horse now will be able to move 1 spot forward by clicking in this lower right hand button here on click to move red horse. So the red horse has moved 1 out now. They would continue this process and go back to questions. We would notice that question 3 now disappears. It's no longer a choice, and now you have the rest of the questions for Team 2 to choose from. That's basically the way the game is played. You continue until you have a winner or until you've run out of questions. That's pretty much the way it plays. I'm going to show you now how to edit the horse race with questions game. Basically, before the game is started, the instructor would come in and type in questions on each one of the question cards, starting with slide number 5. So starting at slide number 5, the instructor would simply type something like, what is 2 plus 2? Of course, you can make that bigger or smaller. This is just PowerPoint. Then we're going to come down to the next slide, slide 6, and we're going to follow the instructions here again to delete that text and place in the answer 4. So then we would continue this process, putting in our questions all the way down. Is 3 plus 3. And again, remember, this is PowerPoint, so you could make things bigger or smaller. You can insert clip art, you can insert pictures and ask questions about those things. All those type of possibilities are out there. So I'm going to come now and just start the game to kind of show you how this works. I'm going to actually start right on this slide here. So when I start up the game with my students, after going through and typing in all the questions and answers, I'm going to click Go to Questions. I would pretend that one of the first teams chose question 1, which is what is 2 plus 2, and they would say 4. I'll click See Answer, and in this case they are correct, and we'll click in the lower center to return to the race. Now the red horse would be clicked 1 time, or the orange horse 1 time to go forward to represent that team. You continue this process until you're finished. One note about the questions that go along with this is that you cannot add more than 20 questions to this PowerPoint. Theoretically, you could if you wanted to put in extra buttons here and then add extra question slides, but it's been designed for 20 questions. The idea is that each team would get 5 questions since there are 4 teams, and they would each have an equal shot at winning, with 5 correct answers being the finish line. And that's basically how you edit the Horse Race Central with questions. To begin the game using Office 2007, go to the Slideshow tab and click 1 time. After clicking on the Slideshow tab, click the From Beginning button on the far left. This will begin the game. To start the game in any version of PowerPoint before Office 2007, go to the Slideshow menu and choose View Show. This game is designed for whole class participation. Participants are divided into teams or may work as individuals. For best results, use an LCD projector or TV to display the game to participants. If you receive a security alert when beginning this game and you're using Office 2007, simply click the Enable This Content button and then click OK. Please note, if you are using a version of Microsoft Office prior to Office 2003, some of the features in these games may not function properly. It is advised that you do your editing of the PowerPoint slides or games in your older version, and then use Microsoft's free PowerPoint viewer for actual gameplay. To download the free viewer, just do a web search for PowerPoint Player 2007.